The most important company, which would make it the most important stock, is one you probably never heard of. One would think it's Apple because it's the most valued company today, but it's not. You might think it's Tesla because of its clean energy, the gas crisis, oil crisis, Russia-Ukraine war, clean energy, climate change, Europe being bullied by Russia. So you would think that maybe Tesla is the most important company out there, but it's not. And nor is it Google, Amazon, Nvidia, or Microsoft. In fact, these companies need this company, the most important company or the stock right now, to even function. If the company stops producing these tiny little microchips, semiconductors, every single company in the world will struggle to function as a company. In fact, good luck surviving. And not only that, if this company stops making these semiconductors, these chips, these tiny little advanced technologies, then we won't have the things that we have today. Things like the camera I'm recording on, this laptop, this microphone, the car we drive, the phone, TVs, anything that's electronic, which is pretty much, we need to have it in our lives in order to live our lives. Without it, we just can't. The society we live in now will never be the same if they stop. So what is this company? Well, you guys already read the title of this video, and the company is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. The company, obviously in its name, is based in Taiwan, and yep, that's right, it's the country, it's the island that China is trying to invade, but isn't because, well, this is one of the main reasons it's not invading Taiwan, because of this massive company, of this very important company. They use them themselves to do everything they do in the country. And again, probably one of the main reasons why they're not invading the island. And obviously because if they try to invade the island, the US will intervene, as they mentioned, and they have the right to, because if that country, I'm telling you guys, if this company stops making semiconductors, the whole world's gonna go upside down. We can't live without these chips. It's absolutely crazy. Without these chips, there's no Teslas, there's no iPhones, there's no laptops, no washing, nothing. There's nothing electronic that we use today. So that's why this company is the most important company in the world today, and probably will be for the next decade or so. So with that being said, in this video, we're gonna look at TSMC's stock price prediction from now till 2030 and see how strong this company is, how far of a stock price will be by 2030, because if this company is very important, it should give you great returns by end of the decade. 5x, 10x to the moon. Well, let's find out. But before you do, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, man. Let's go. Let's go. So before we get into the prediction and all that, why is this company so important? I mean, aside from all the things that I mentioned earlier, why can't AMD, Intel, Qualcomm, Nvidia, or another semiconductor company copy what TSMC do? I mean, there's so many companies out there, right? Well, not really. The only company that's very close to TSMC is Samsung. And even then, they are far off. Just like, auto legacy makers to Tesla. Big gap. Big gap. TSMC here, Samsung here, and everyone else is here. Just like Tesla. Tesla here, automakers here, and everyone else here. So that's why. But for us to fully understand this, we have to look at what kind or types of semiconductors are out there. There are two types. There's a fabless and a foundry. Fabless semiconductor companies concentrate and focus all their energy on research and development and the development of the chips. All they pretty much do is design the hardware and sell it. That's all they do. There's no manufacturing in it. They don't actually make the chip. They just make the design and they give it to someone else as a fabrication to make the foundry chips for them, like TSMC. But we'll get to that in a bit. Companies that are concentrated on fabless chips are Nvidia, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm, and so on and so forth. Now, foundry semiconductor chips are exclusively and solely focused on manufacturing and testing the actual physical product. And this is exactly where TSMC sits. Now, hold on a second. You may be thinking that, wait a minute, why can't other companies do this? Well, they could, but they won't because it's extremely expensive and very advanced and tiny. How tiny? 1 nanometer. How big is 1 nanometer? Well, it's 0.001 micrometer. How big is 0.001 micrometer? Well, you kind of need a powerful microscope to see it. It's that small. But that tiny 1 nanometer technology can do a lot of things. It can go into rockets, it can go into cars. It's a function in sort of a electronic device. It can do a lot of things. That's why they're very important. And without these things, you cannot function. The device cannot function. Also, the investment that's needed for this kind of research and development is absolutely crazy. Like billions upon billions if we look at TSMC's R&D expenses. It's going to the flippin' moon. But that's good news for TSMC because they're acquiring more customers and they need the research and development to get the product that they need. Because again, remember, it's exclusive. Any client that goes to TSMC, they don't share the blueprint with any other companies. It's just solely for them and them only. And that's why they're loved so much. That's why every company, every tech company out there needs this company to function. Without it, there is no product. There is no company. And that's why, folks, TSMC is gonna make boatloads of money. I mean, they already are, but imagine in the next 5, 6, 7 years, we're gonna see in a bit, but it's sheesh. It's crazy. Another reason why other companies aren't doing what TSMC is doing is that scaling is extremely difficult. Especially when it comes to foundry chips, scaling is very expensive, it's tough, and it's not easy. That's why TSMC is one of the only companies, it's almost a monopoly at this point. They're actually the only company that can scale microchips, semiconductors, very tiny and advanced microchips and nanometer chips that can do function. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This is why this company is absolutely important and just no one can really mess with it. Not even China. Now, knowing all this, it seems like TSMC is going to the flippin' moon. Well, that's what I'm curious to know what the stock price will be by 2030, and I bet you are too. So in this video, we're gonna go and find out what the price will be every single year up until 2030. And if you guys are wondering, no, I don't own any shares, but I would love to, only in my diversified portfolio, which I don't have because I'm going all in into Tesla stock, which is needed by this company. And if they stop producing, there is no Tesla. And I'll lose all my money because they can't produce any vehicles. Bruh. Anyways, it's a very important company. But just because it's so important, is it gonna 10x from now to 2030? Well, let's find out. But before we find out, if you guys want to support this channel, you guys now can. You guys can join the channel, you guys will be able to unlock some cool perks, and you guys will be supporting me in a way, as well as we got the Go All In wallpaper, as well as the Go All In t-shirt, sweaters, mugs, water bottles, whatever you guys like. You guys can support me there and join the dark community of going all in. Even though you guys should, do your DD before you do that. But anywho, let's get down to the video. Let's go. So as you guys can see here, this is a chart that we use to, predict all our stocks. Usually it's about 80% right. We get it right if things go according to plan. And yes, guys, all the numbers you see here are in US dollar. It's much easier, and to find the stock price, well, we look at it in the US dollar. So as you guys can see in 2020 and 2021, we didn't have much of a boost because, well, those 2 years, the world was shut down and everyone was locked in, and there wasn't really much growth happening between these 2 years until 2022, where all the restrictions are lifted for most countries in the world lifted all the restrictions. And we had a big boom going on that inflation reached peak. Now we're dealing with interest rates and probably and possibly a recession. But anywho, to find a total revenue and net income, I looked at simply Wall Street's, and they predicted from 2022 all the way to 2024, and I took that number and I put it here. The reason why I use simply Wall Street is because, well, their analysts and predictions are pretty decent for the next 3 years. And look at that, in 2022 it's gonna be almost a double from 2021. That's how crazy it is, man. Look at this, insane. The margins are insane. And then in 2023 as well, it looks like we're gonna be staying stagnant for some while because I think they're adding in the recession as well. But I think they will be wrong in 2023. I think they would do pretty darn amazing next year. I think they would, just only $400,000 more. Sheesh, that doesn't make any sense. And in 2024, we saw a massive jump again in the revenue, about almost a 15 to 20 billion, and a 6 billion more on the net income, which is just sheesh. It's pretty good gains. Now, in order to find a total revenue and net income from 2025 to 2030, I couldn't really find anything online, but that's why we got Curious Pejjy to figure it out. And to find out, I made this little chart over here comparing the growth year over year. As you guys can see here, for the revenue or the sales, it seems to be stable in the 20%, 15%, 10%. On the average for these 4 years from 2020 to 2024, it's about an 18% growth, which is actually pretty not bad. But the profits, that's where it's at, and the most important part. 2021 to 2022, an 87% increase. Sheesh! That's insane, but shows you how demand grew in 2022. But they're saying a 1% growth from 2022 to 2023. Again, I don't agree with this. I think it's gonna be at least a 10% growth from now till next year. But let's keep it conservative. Let's see what simply Wall Street says. Let's go what they say. And from 2023 to 2024, an 18% growth. So that's not bad. In fact, they're saying most of the time their profits are gonna outpace their sales, and we can see that in the total average profits percentage over time, about 30%, 29% year-over-year growth. That's absolutely insane. And as you guys can see the numbers below that, it's the ratio from profits to sales. So by 2024, about almost 40% of all revenue is going to be profit. That's just insane. And that's up from, a 30% from, just 4 years ago by 2024. So sheesh. I mean, even this year, look at this, 2022 is going to be about 43%. That's madness. Man, that's what I'm saying, man. This company's going to do really well. But let's see. To keep things conservative for the revenue, what I did is that from 2025 to 2026, I said it'll increase by 18% year over year. From 2027 to 2028, I said 15%. And from 2029 to 2030 at 12%, which will give us around $210 billion by 2030. That is, if no invasion has happened, which we hope it won't. But let's keep going forward. For the total net income for 2025 to 2026, I said 25%. 2027 to 2028, about 20%, and from 2029 to 2030, about 15%. Now, obviously, semiconductors are this advanced, and TSMC is the only one who's doing it like this, and they keep advancing and going to the next level, and the competition is here and they are there. 15% is a joke. I highly doubt that'll happen. But let's keep being conservative and let's keep going forward. For the shares outstanding, they don't seem to do any buybacks or any selling. It's just 5.19 billion shares outstanding. It's been like that for the past 10 years. And so we're going to keep that for the next 10 years till 2030. And obviously, once you put that, the EPS follows as well, which we will get over almost 21 bucks earnings per share by 2030. So you already know, I mean, if 2022 is going to end off by almost $6, that's an easy 3.5, almost a 4x from now till then. But anywho, let's see what the stock price would be, because this is the juicy part. We're going to find the PE. Now the PE, surprisingly, this company is trading at a 16 PE right now, 15 PE. Like, bro, this is the world's most important company. Why is it trading so low? Like, bro, what? I mean, if you look at 2020 and 2021, they were trading in the 30 PEs. And I don't know, man. This company is making a lot of money and they don't have that much debt either. A 16 PE is a bit strange to me. But again, who am I kidding? Apple, before they blew up, right? Before they made so much money and what Apple they are now, they were trading around the 10, 12 PEs. Same with Microsoft. So, I mean, maybe this is just the beginning stages of a low PE, and then it'll slowly go higher because expectations going to go higher and higher because they're going to continue to make more money, and so PE will continue to rise because their growth is going to be high. So what I did was in 2022, I gave it a PE of 16, the same as what it is now. I think it's 15 right now, but let's put it 16. And we get a stock price of 93 bucks per share. So really, if the stock price right now is 70 bucks, it's about what, a 25% increase from now till then. But again, macro environments never really is influenced by the company itself. So let's bring down the PE to a 12, which it's ridiculous, a 12 PE. But that'll give us a 70 PE. So really, if they finish off the year with a $30 billion net income and a $70 billion in revenue, total revenue, they have to be trading at a 12 PE if they want the current stock price to be around 70, which I don't know. I think a PE of 15 is going to be more likely by year end. So 87 bucks per share. Let's go with that. In 2023, I gave it a PE of 15 as well, because it seems like they're not really growing as much compared to simply Wall Street. I do disagree with this. I think they're going to hit at least 34 billion dollars in net income, but we're going to go ahead and keep it what simply Wall Street said. And with that, because they didn't grow as much and they're still anticipating that this company is going to continue growing the years after, a 15 PE would, I guess, makes sense in this case. And that will give us a stock price of 88 bucks per share and a market cap over $450 billion. In 2024, however, I said that because there's a massive jump in revenue and a massive jump in net income, about 5 billion or about 12% increase, investors will see that this company is going to continue to grow and make a boatload of money. So I gave it a PE of 20 here. And with the PE of 20, it's about a stock price of 139 bucks per share and a market cap over $700 billion. So sheesh. That's some good return right there. In 2025, I gave it a PE of 23 because look at the net income and the revenue, man. It's on a freaking, just look at that. So if it's increasing like that, the PE should go higher. I mean, just look at Microsoft stock, their PE. If we look at the PE, gradually the PE keeps getting higher and higher over time because, they keep making higher earnings. Same thing with Apple. So we're going to use that same theory as Apple and Microsoft and put it here for TSMC as well. So at 23 PE, by 2025, we get a stock price just below 200 bucks per share and a market cap over $1 trillion, which is just absolutely insane. Like, sheesh. If they reach $1 trillion by 2025, I think this will be like the 10th or 12th company to hit $1 trillion valuation. So sheesh, that's insane. In 2026, I gave it a PE of 25 because again, earnings are going higher. So more expectation is there. And we get a stock price of $271 per share and a market cap over $1.4 trillion. In 2027, and this is the year that we all believe that, China may invade Taiwan. And if they don't, well, a 27 PE would give us a stock price of $351 and a market cap over $1.8 trillion. In 2028, I gave it a PE of 28, and that would give us a stock price of $437 per share and a market cap over $2.2 trillion. And in 2029, I gave it a PE of 30, which gives us a stock price of $538 per share and a market cap of almost $2.8 trillion. And 2030, again, I kept it at 30 PE. That would give us a stock price of $719 and a market cap over $3.2 trillion. Like, sheesh, you pretty much 9x, 10x your money if you bought at $70 per share right now. Sheesh, it looks like we're gonna be doing a 10x here as well, man. Sheesh. And here's how the chart will look like if it goes according to plan as we have here. It's going to the moon, man. It's a rocket ship, man. It's an absolute rocket ship. However, I do think this is the base case. I think a bullish case is more reasonable here because they are a monopoly at this point. I mean, these are the most important company in the world right now. Everyone needs this company, even China. I know I keep saying that, but they do. Without this company, man, nothing can function properly. But as usual, guys, this is only a prediction and a prediction only. This may not happen. Who knows? Maybe China may end up invading Taiwan. The stock price will plummet. And then we'll probably end up going to another World War III because the US will intervene because this company is really important. I mean, if China invades this island, Taiwan, it's going to stop the whole world. It's going to stop, I would say, about 90%. Okay, 80%, but I think it's higher than that. 90% sounds, I think, is reasonable. It'll stop everything. It'll stop all kinds of manufacturing. It'll stop making, aircrafts, phones, everything. This will affect the whole world. And this is why the US has pledged they will intervene if China decides to do anything to Taiwan because it's really darn important. It's not like Ukraine. Ukraine to the US, there's not really high interest there for them. And it's also being controlled there, so it's not as bad as we might think. But in Taiwan, it's a whole different story. And that's what's probably going to start off the next World War. Hoping that doesn't happen. But this is one scenario that can happen. I mean, again, China's very aggressive. They really want the island. They really want to, reunify it. And US is like, no. Very difficult situation to be in, especially for this company. Again, take everything with a grain of salt, do your DD, and invest with your own risk. Maybe that's why the PE is so low, because of the China stuff. So, yeah. If there was no China threat, man, I'd be going all into this stock, man. It's very important. And the competition, I'm telling you, competition's here, they are here. Cannot match. Cannot catch up. Just like Tesla. All right, now that we figured out what the stock price could be by 2030, I want to talk about the pros and cons of this company. The pro, it's pretty much a monopoly. Everyone needs this company. Without this company, no one can function. It's a very important company and a very important stock. So knowing all that, the future of this company is going to be very lucrative and very profitable. So in terms of investment, you're going to make a lot of money with this company. But the con is a very scary con because you got China. That's the most important thing. This company, or the island that it's on, Taiwan, US has pledged that it's worth to go to war against China unless they pivot from Taiwan to the United States, which, by the way, they are making a factory in the United States in Texas, and the investment is $12 billion at TSMC there, which is a really, really good step forward to the right direction. But that's till 2027. Who knows what could happen by then? Again, there's been rumors going around that China might do something to Taiwan by 2027. So it kind of looks like a planned thing. I mean, if we look at it, but who knows, man? It's madness out there. It really is. But really, if you take away the China aspect from this company, it's a very strong company. It's a monopoly, and it'll continue to be a monopoly as we go forward. So what to do? Buy the stock? Don't buy the stock? What do you do? I think this stock is a great short to medium term buy and hold. Long term, I don't know what's going to happen. Taiwan is always being threatened by China, and they really want to take it, and the US doesn't want to, and it's a big mess. For the peace of mind, you're not going to get with this company. You're just not. Every second there's something going on, and this company is in the middle fourth of it. But if you look at it another way, this company is one of the main reasons why China is not invading, because China needs the company. So maybe this company could be a savior to China's invasion. Who knows? I'm just throwing out theories out there. May come true, may not come true. My thoughts, thinking out loud. Politics always gets me very interested, but it gets very scary sometimes. And in this scenario, it's pretty darn terrifying. I don't know how this company can just be on that island and say, yeah, we're the most important company in the world, you know, we're just gonna stay here and not think about a backup plan. Or I mean, they are thinking about one now, they are expanding in the US, but still, it's very risky. That's the only risk part about it, and that's why I think the PE is so low. But anywho, man, this company is on the cheap. I mean, it's down from its all-time highs, like almost 30-40%. So if you guys wanna, you know, make a quick buck in the next short to medium term, this is a fantastic stock to invest in. But another stock to invest in that's crashing right now is, well, none other than Tesla. In this video, I expose the bears and I go dive deep to see how low Tesla stock can go, and it's pretty darn interesting. So check it out, you won't be disappointed. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.